In this video, we will share about the tomato plant itself so that we can understand what its requirements are. We will see how to select the right site for the plant, how to grow it, what's the right temperature for its germination and its growth, and how to take care of the plant, how to maintain it, and how to harvest more and more fruits from it. So let's get on to it. So first of all, let's try to understand about the plant itself, its family, its origin, because that will give us some idea about its requirement. So this plant, tomato, belongs to the Solanaceae family, and its scientific name is Solanum lycopersicum or Lycopersicum esculentum. The origin of tomato is from South America, and the other plants like potato, peppers, chili pepper and bell pepper and eggplants, which are kept under Solanaceae family and are also informally grouped under nightshade family. The reason why they are kept under nightshade family is not very clear, and one of the reason could be that they flower during night as well, or the color of their leaves is bit darker than other plants, or maybe the fruits of some of the nightshade family plants like tobacco are poisonous in nature. Tomato is grown through its seeds, and as you can see, the seeds of tomato are very small, about 1 to 2 mm in size, and they can be grown directly into the soil or by growing the nursery first and then transplanting into the soil. Tomato, as you can see, can be grown in pots as well. So if you do not have a kitchen garden or lots of space to grow tomato, you can definitely grow them in your balcony and in pots. The only requirement is that tomato plants should get minimum 6 hours of direct sunlight, and for example, these two plants I had sown together, but the plant on the left hand side was under the shade of a tree, and that's why its growth is stunted. In terms of soil, tomato needs moist but well-drained soil. Well-drained soil because it cannot bear stagnating water, and because tomato plants need or take up lots of nutrition, and in fact all plants with fruits or berries, they take up lots of nutrient from the soil. Therefore we need to supply those nutrients through compost in the soil. The ideal temperature for growing tomato is from 10 to 35 degrees Celsius, and we need to protect the plant from extreme hot or cold, especially frost. Since the seeds of the plant are very small, therefore we need to sow them very shallow, like half a centimeter deep. I always select heritage or heirloom varieties for my kitchen garden, and we can buy these seeds from market or can also borrow from friends or families. The biggest benefit of heritage varieties is that we can reuse the seeds, so we just need to extract the seeds from the ripe tomato and can use it for sowing, while we can always do this same for the market bought tomatoes. But most of the time market bought tomatoes are hybrid tomatoes, and the progeny or the plant that we get from those seeds are not as good as their parent. Since tomato plants are bushy or vine type, therefore we need to keep a distance of 50 to 60 centimeter between two plants at the time of sowing, and we should keep the soil moist until the seeds germinate. Apart from direct sowing, we can also sow tomato using transplanting method. So we need to develop nursery of the plant, and for that we need small pots with some garden soil and compost. It's important to note that at this stage the plant doesn't need lots of compost because it just needs to germinate and develop into a small plant or seedling for transplanting. For small seeds like tomato, we can use this other method of sowing as well, where instead of making a small hole, we are actually putting the seed on top of the soil and then covering it with a layer of soil on top. After sowing, we need to water the pots and keep the soil moist until the seeds germinate. At this stage, we can keep the pots in partial shade or in greenhouse as well. After 15 days, as you can see, the cotyledon leaves are visible and the seeds have germinated. After 30-35 days, as you can see, the true leaves have emerged and the plants are ready for transplanting. Half an hour before transplanting, we need to water the pot thoroughly This will help in making the transplanting process easier because the roots and the soil will stick together and we can take out the entire root ball. For transplanting, the ideal time is in the evening or on a cloudy day or before a rain. And to avoid transplanting shock, we should sow the plant deep into the soil and should keep the soil moist until it starts growing on its own. Tomato comes in lots of shapes, sizes and colors, and the most common are the plum type tomatoes and also cherry tomatoes. Tomato varieties are based on the type of plants as well. So for example, I am growing a indeterminate variety, which is a vine kind of variety, and then there are determinate varieties or bushy type varieties which grow up to a certain height only, and they are ideal for pots or for balcony gardening. An interesting thing about tomato or these plants with berries is that the more we harvest the ripe fruits, the more we get more and more fruits and flowers in the plant. And tomato is one such plant where we can have the ripe fruit, the green fruits as well as flowers at the same time. Once the plant starts growing, we need to give support to the plant or stake the plant, and we can also tie the vine type varieties with the jute twine. So I would just recap the key points that we need to keep in mind. So we need to give support to the plant using a twine or a stick. Then we can prune and keep only the main two stems of the plant. Then we need to keep the soil moist, and it's important to note that we should not water the plant from the top or on the foliage, but we should always water them on the ground using a watering can or a water pipe. And then the more we harvest the fruits, the more we get new ripe fruits in the plant. One last but not the least point is that the tomato plants and all the plants from this family, they take up lots of nutrient from the soil. So we need to replenish that nutrient at the time of sowing by using compost. And then we should not grow plants from the same family in that soil for the next 2-3 years. So we should follow crop rotation, where we grow beans and peas and plants from other families like root crops in the soil for the next 2-3 years. Although tomato is prone to a lot of diseases and insects, so fungal diseases like wilt and leaf spot, viral diseases like tomato mosaic virus, and insects like aphids and whitefly which suck the sap of the plant, and worms, fruit worms and caterpillars which are found in the fruit itself. But by following the right package of practices like not watering the plant from the top or from the foliage, we can avoid these diseases and insects. So I hope you liked the video and you got some information on how to grow tomatoes successfully and easily in your kitchen garden. Thanks for watching.